Hey everybody, so some other news from yesterday, and this news really shook the league. This was a surprise. Steve Yzerman stepped down as general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Julien Brisebois has taken over as the new GM. Yzerman is now in a senior advisor role, so much less involved in the day-to-day action of the team, and just kind of a senior advisor. He's going to watch over things, see how Brisebois does as the GM. But there's a much bigger story here, and the story, I think, is Yzerman's going back to Detroit. You don't just step down from a job with one of the best teams in the NHL. You are the general manager of one of the best teams in the league. You have built this team to be one of the best teams in the league. You have done an incredible job. I mean, Yzerman is absolutely one of the top GMs in the league. He did an incredible job with Tampa Bay, not only building this elite roster that they have, but also getting all of these core players signed long-term and locked up, all while staying under the salary cap. What Yzerman's done in Tampa Bay is absolutely masterful. And if you're looking to build a team, every other GM in the league should be looking at Tampa Bay and seeing that's how you do it. So why in the world would Yzerman just step down from this job? He's got to be going back to Detroit. That's the only thing I can think of that anyone's really been saying that makes any sense. What's going to happen is Yzerman is going to be a senior advisor with Tampa Bay this season. He's going to watch over Brisebois, kind of guide him along, show him the ropes a little bit. And then this offseason, Ken Holland will either step down as Detroit Red Wings general manager or be fired, whichever, if he doesn't want to step down, they'll just fire him because he has completely lost the Red Wings. They're in a state of disrepair at this point. And Steve Yzerman is going to become the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings probably for next season. That's how I see things playing out, at least. That's really the only that's got to be why he's doing this. You're not one of the top GMs in the league and the general manager of a Stanley Cup favorite and one of the best teams in the league. You don't just quit on that. He has a plan in place. There's a future there. He, I think, knows what he's doing, and I think that he has a lot of faith in Julien Brisebois, I think, and I think he's just going to guide him along for this year, and then he's going to say, hey, that's your team. And now he's going to go back to Detroit, where obviously he was the captain for so many years, won Stanley Cups, is an absolute legend from his playing career. He's now going to take over the Detroit Red Wings as general manager, and I think pretty much everyone is expecting that at this point, and I think it's probably not going to happen this season. I think they let Holland finish out this season, and then I think the writing's on the wall at this point. The end of this season, Holland will either step down voluntarily or be fired, and Steve Yzerman will be the new Detroit Red Wings GM. That's at least what I think is going to happen. He's leaving Tampa Bay in very good shape. Yes, they're tight up against the cap, but they've got an elite team on the ice, and they've got all of those core elite players locked up long term. Stamkos is locked up. Kucherov is locked up. JT Miller is locked up. Victor Hedman and Ryan McDonough are locked up. The core of that team and the players that are going to make that team successful for the next 5+ years are all under contract for at least the next 4 or 5 years. So the only thing Brisebois really has left to do is make sure he continues to put a good supporting cast around that core, and Andrei Vasilevskiy is going to be Brisebois' big GM moment. Is what kind of deal is he going to get done with Andrei Vasilevskiy? Because Vasilevskiy is a superstar in the making in goal. He's going to be the Lightning's franchise goaltender for the next 10+ years, and he needs a long-term, huge goaltending contract, and fitting that under the salary cap is going to require some thinking and some moves by Tampa Bay. So I would not be surprised to see that deal get done this season while Yzerman is still in Tampa as a senior advisor. And Brisebois will be the GM when it happens, but Yzerman will be there and probably help him out with that and walk him through it. And once that's done, this team is set for years to come as far as their core is concerned. Yzerman leaves them in Stanley Cup level shape, and then it's on to a new challenge for Stevie Y. He's going back to Detroit, and he's going to try and rebuild the Detroit Red Wings. And that's the way I see things playing out. That's really the only reason that he would leave this job and step down in Tampa Bay, is to go back to Detroit, where he is an absolute legend and where he had such an illustrious playing career. He's now going to do it in management. And I fully believe that he can do it. He can turn the Red Wings around because he is one of the absolute best general managers in the league. It is not very often that really good players end up being really good coaches or GMs. A lot of times it's usually the lesser known players that find their way in coaching and management. But Stevie Y was an elite player, and now he's an elite GM. And you don't see that a lot, but with him it's certainly the case. And I wish him all the best. I kind of hope he wins a cup this year in Tampa Bay, and then it'll be off to Detroit, I believe, and there'll be a lot of work to do when he gets to Detroit. So that's what I think is going on. That's really the only reason I can think of that he would step down from this job in Tampa. So expect that to play out as the season goes along. And again, I think he'll probably be in Tampa this whole season. I don't see Detroit firing Ken Holland in the middle of the season. Holland has been there a long time. He deserves more respect than that. And they're not just going to throw him out on the side of the road in the middle of a season. This I'm willing to bet is Holland's last season as Detroit's GM, and they'll be moving on to Stevie Y. So let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.